Have you ever found yourself saying yes when you really wanted to say no? What fears or beliefs made you feel like you had to people please? I think the biggest awakening for me was that everything I was doing was people pleasing. Everything in my life was about what can I do for somebody else, and it was connected to my self worth. And so I think that fear of not being loved, not being liked for who I am, and because I know that I'm different than most people, and so that made me want to people please even more to make up for what I felt was shortcomings of for being so honest, for being so direct, for being who I am and being able to see through people's BS and telling people exactly how I felt. I felt like being a people pleaser was making up for me being who I was. And then I had to realize that they either gonna like you for who you are or they're not. And when you stop doing stuff for people, that's how you see who really has your back and who really don't have your back. And you see that you've been betraying yourself by giving to them and being this person for them, and you lose yourself every time you are somebody who you normally are not to other people, you know?
Hmm.
And so for me, my belief of, not being liked really took me through a lot for my spiritual journey because I had to be okay with not being liked. And that was hard for me because I want everybody to like me because I like everybody else and I give everybody a chance. And that's just not how the world works, you know?
Hmm.
Kari, what's your personal experience that made you realize you were giving too much at your own expense?
Well, me having people's backs a lot, like, I will go out of my way to fight my friends' battles for them just to prove to them that I wasn't a bad friend. Because let's say, for
Mm,
instance, I fell out with some friends, and I'm the type of friend that I'll always have my friends back, even if they don't ask. And a lot of times I do myself a disservice because a lot of times those people don't have my back when push comes to shove. So I realize that I give myself too much to people, and maybe I expect too much in return, but I feel like I'm too giving and too protective, and I defend people too much when I really shouldn't. A lot of times I can't even defend myself sometimes. So for me to go out of my way to defend other people, just shows how much I'm willing to give so much of myself at my own expense because they're not going to do the same for me. And you know what, for me, it's not like I'm saying, "Oh, I want you to go out of your way." It's a principle for me. It's like, you just I guess you just expect the same in return. And when you realize, okay, maybe I'm giving too much of myself. So
mhm,
now I'm not going to expect anything anymore. I'm just not going to drain myself. You know what I mean? So I just
mhm.
decide, I'm just going to stay in my lane and let people learn their lessons on their own. Because me going out of my way for people, they're not learning anything. And that's not being a good friend because it's showing that I'm too,
Feel?
I don't want to say too loyal, but I go out of my way too much when I shouldn't. And as a friend, you're supposed to, because I was scared to call my friends out on their wrongdoings because I was afraid they were going to get mad at me. But a real
Mhm,
friend should call their friends out on their behavior
mhm,
instead of just
mhm,
agreeing with them and defending for them and fighting their battles just because they're your friend. Your friend is wrong, tell them they're wrong. That's a real friend. And a lot of people don't
mhm.
like me for that. I'd rather tell you when you're wrong than to just always, fight your battles.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah, when you was talking, I was thinking about how you were fighting a battle. Like, if I think about it, like I fought battles for like my kids. Like I wouldn't fight for myself, but let somebody try to mess with my children. It was on,
Hmm.
or like my animals. Like let somebody come up in my house and say something mean to my animals in my house. Like you get out,
Right.
like they house,
Hmm.
and I saw it as like mama bear,
Yeah.
but when I think about it, it's and it's like you want somebody to stand up for you the same way you stand up for other people. So like for me, I did the same thing. Like I was that people pleaser because I was looking for people to treat me how I was treating other people.
Mhm.
You know, I wanted somebody to show me that same type of love, that same type of care, that I'm here for you. I have your back. I'm your friend, you know, through thick and thin. I'm loyal. I'm honest. I'm here for you. All that, you know? And so that's why it's like when you were saying that you had to change your expectations about your friends when they wasn't there for you, like you was there for them, that felt the same way as far as like me and my family, you know, being there for them and them not there for me. But when I think about it through healing, I realized that I was giving them what I wanted for myself.
Exactly. And that was all, and that's also selfish because we expect something unrealistic that we should be giving ourselves, you know?
Exactly.
Uh-huh. So we're also wrong, you know?
Yeah, but you know, you got to heal to understand why you're wrong,
Right,
though.
right.
And then once you realize it, you're like,
Because you know what, you
yeah,
never really realize it until like you really think about it, you know? It's like, oh my God,
uh
like I'm just incomplete with myself. So yeah.
I swear with this ego death, like that's the most humbling thing you will learn about yourself is that it's everything that you do is a mirror. And so it's basically what you giving and what you doing is you want for yourself.
Hmm.
And so you have to stop doing that so that you can give it to yourself,
Right.
you know, and treat yourself and love yourself. Like the best thing that helped me through my journey was like, I can't speak positive to myself, but if I'm speaking positive to a friend, so I just have to switch it and say, if my friend was in my situation, what would I tell that person? And then I can speak positive to myself.
Right.
You know,
Hmm.
like I should be able to speak positive to myself without having to flip it as if I was talking to a friend.